after the law school, you go down, it's a boundary between Abuja and Niger State. I bought this place, converted it to farm estate, invested a lot of money, with the hope of making this money back. But unfortunately, I'm unable to visit the place often. What I've decided to do now, or what I'm doing now, is leasing the land to locals and some herders to use. Why just lease? I can't make anything from there. We are no longer afraid of, there are a lot of problems, DDB. We are no longer afraid of the herders coming to eat the crops. I think it's almost a normal thing now. When you go to different states, it's almost a normal thing. But we are now afraid of the gunmen, not just the herdsmen. Today, I also own a farm estate at Wasini. The name of the village is Loti Village in Wasini. For some years now, let's say 2 years now, I've not been able to go there. Why? The issue of, can I say herdsmen or gunmen? Yeah? Because the fear of being kidnapped when you go to your farm is becoming too rampant. Some people, they kidnap them, ask for ransom. Farmers. Imagine asking a farmer to pay you 500 million naira.
How? Where does he want to get it?
So just imagine that. And some of the farmers who, from the association will rally around, get about 10 million. These bandits will collect this money and still kill that farmer. The issue of southern Kaduna today, just go to the market and price ginger, A bag of ginger now is sold, a bag of ginger now is sold between 340,000 to 400,000 naira per bag.
Wow. Ginger
is one of our most exported crop from Nigeria. And this is the main livelihood of lots of people from the southern Kaduna axis, from Kafanchan, Kagarko, even in Zango, Kataf. But today, how many people in Briningwari can boldly go to the farm? How many people from those suburb areas will go to the farm to plant, just to even plant the ginger? The fear of kidnapping, I think, is even more than. I think it's more than for money. Maybe it's ethnic cleansing. The government really needs to do something. What we are talking about is not just about the $9 billion. $9 billion is small compared to the lives we lose every day, lives of farmers we lose every day. So when we're talking about agriculture, what we eat, the people that grow this thing we eat are being killed. The new people that, because I usually organize agri training and all that. When you encourage somebody to go to the farm, you encourage them, you give them seeds to go to the farm, how do you protect them from being kidnapped? Yeah, this is one of the major problems we have. And I say that $9 billion is small because many farms were not visited and many farmers were not even asked what are they feeling.
Okay. So, Famaike Chukwu, in the New Year address of the president, he did promise to implement reforms aimed at boosting domestic food production and supporting the local manufacturing of essential goods, including drugs and medical supplies. I also know that he planned to combat inflation and to help to mitigate these setbacks as these bandits and terrorists continue to disrupt farming in northern Nigeria. I'm wondering, how much of that effect have you seen, as farmers? How much has that, helped? Because he said we're committed to reducing inflation from 34.6% to 15% by intensifying efforts to enhance food production and fostering local manufacturing. How is that journey going on one hand?
You see, the president may have very good intention, and all the plans and policies get to them may be very wonderful. But what we are not seeing is the implementation. What we are not seeing is the action in place. Maybe the action is taking place, but I, for one, am not seeing them. How many farmers have been called to ask, what are your problems? You see, the major challenge, before now, one of the problems we have, there are lots of challenges farmers face, like the post-harvest value addition, when you talk about manufacturing, like the electricity, like the transportation costs. Many farmers are facing the problem of storage. Farmers are challenged with the cost of input in the farm. Do you know how much a herbicide is currently sold? Do you know how much a bag of fertilizer is sold? This farmer will borrow money from the bank or from thrift and invest. And the worst part of it is you can't harvest what you have planted. You are going to the farm, if one grass cutter or one rabbit just passed by your side, you just hold your chest, thinking, say, what than at them, if you understand what I mean. So farmers are facing a lot of issues. Yes, inflation, they have good plan to abate the inflation, but we are all going to the market. Since he said that until now, you can still confirm the price of food. I've told lots of people, if you have money now, buy tomato, process it and keep, because in 2-3 weeks, 1 month's time, tomato will be very, very expensive.
Why so?
There are a lot of factors. One, like I mentioned, are the security issues. Two, the logistic issue. Now we have entered rainy season. The road is not too good. Bringing these goods from the north is not easy, and the cost of bringing them will be high. Apart from that, which is a major one now, the issue of flooding, especially in the northern parts.
I was just about to come to that because I remember that on the 24th of September, crops that were destroyed by flooding in 2024 was that would have fed 8.5 million Nigerians. It says here that crops and food produce destroyed by heavy floods that submerged part of Nigeria for the first 6 months of 2024 would have fed 8.5 million people in 6 months. And this is from the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization estimating this, which means that it could be more. Just last week, we were talking about how the government has come out to say that, warn us that about 30 to 31 states will be affected by flooding. What does this do to our agricultural produce in Nigeria as it stands?
Just like I mentioned earlier, from 2 weeks' time, I just mentioned just tomatoes. Okay, other agricultural products that will be submerged by flood, especially from the north, because from the south, lots of people are not farming, and those that are farming, the place is a bit higher. So when flood comes, it affects not